Okay, we're back, and let's move on to deja vu. The feeling that you've seen an event before. Specifically, it's the feeling that you get whenever you feel it, that you've experienced it before, that you supposedly never have. Characteristic of deja vu is, despite this feeling, you generally can't recall if it's related to a past experience you want to swim through. It feels like a dream, hazy memory you can barely make out. There are times you feel like you've dreamed about them. Often, however, one only believes that because they want to think it's just a dream. It's a phenomenon that shows how complex the human brain is. Except when one of the agents decide to change the matrix and stuff in Sixth Sense. It's going to be the sixth sensation out of the five senses: sight, hearing, touch, taste, smell. Humans use to recognize the physical world, where to continue. Thought to be a supernatural ability such as precognition or ESP. The form of intuition. Existence of the sixth sense is both scientifically and medically unproven. Thus, words such as foreboding had existed since ancient times. Probably cannot be unconditionally denied either. In reality, here is a much more terrifying situation, though. Precognition. The ability to know in advance things that will occur in the future. To use this foreknowledge to tell others about the future you know is called a prediction. Though there were those who called the medical scientist Nostradamus a prophet, since many of his predictions never came true in the end, many are skeptical about the credibility of predictions. Also around the year 2000, a man named John Titor claimed to have come from the year 2036, appeared on the internet, and left topics behind with many predictions for the future. If time travel really is possible, then those who come from the future could be called prophets, yes. Just like Makoto. April Fools. Haha. Never actually thought of it that way. Toro, inside of a tuna, especially the excessive fat of the tuna's stomach meat. Coming in thickness, Toro Lee, of its texture. Calling live tuna Toro is a mistake. It's like calling a living cow beef. The term only refers to a specific portion of meat. Okay. It's customary for every game in the series to feature a tuna in some form, of course. All started with Yuka's proposal. Coinky Dink. I went with no causal relationship. It's so easy to get those words mixed up. Whose occurrence does not feel inevitable. In fact, inevitable would be an antonym of the word. Even if it feels like it was a coincidence, there are people who believe there's actual meaning for its occurrence. One believes in the existence of Laplace's demon. The occurrence of the event was actually inevitable. Those who watch TV, it's easier to understand if you think of it like a candid camera-esque prank, where a series of apparent coincidences all turn out to have been planned ahead of time. The ones being surprised might be coincidence, but the pranksters' inevitability. Makoto kept getting correct pair after correct pair in the card game. Was it a coincidence or an inevitability? If it was an inevitability, did Makoto know which cards were which, or did he decide which cards were which? Seems more likely that he decide it. If all is as it was. So seemed. Anyways, talisman. Defend oneself against disasters. Named God, Sanskrit characters, and similar things are written on it. Usually attached to one's clothes or body in order to show off its potency. My charm's bigger than your charm. Spring rain at the end of the cape, together with the echoing bell, will free you from time. Was this talisman really meant to prevent disasters? Or could it possibly be the key to the time, the key to the TARDIS, stored in the bottom of the... Okay, moving on. UFO summoning ritual. The most famous one is for several people to join hands, form a circle, and continues to chant, Ventura, Ventura, space people. Aliens understand English? You'll lose if you think that way. Lose what? People may think it's at least a little dubious. It's vital to keep an open mind. No illustrated reports of ever coming into contact with UFOs or aliens by means of this ritual. When she saw Makoto and the others sitting in the circle, she was instantly reminded of a UFO summoning ritual. Oh, yes. Okay, I remember. Only guess, but maybe she's actually held one of these rituals before. Knowing Kurumi? Probably. Spirited Away. A term used throughout Japanese history to cite unexplained vanishings. The belief is thought to be heavily influenced by animism, where mountains and forests are defied and respected out of fear. Or deified, sorry. Don't defy them, though. Close examination of historical records reveals that there are times people who had been spirited away later returned. When Rip Van Winkle suddenly disappeared, perhaps his family and friends thought he had been spirited away. It would be nearly impossible to try to imagine the Morino family's mental state after Kurumi's spirited away incident. Driving force behind Izumi's success in traveling down the path of science might ironically be attributed to this unscientific, nightmarish personal experience of hers. Was able to explain the truth behind the incident in order to help her sister. Kokoro. In Japanese, kokoro or heart refers to a place somewhere in the body that can be thought to be the source of logic and emotion. Similar to the concept of a soul. In the past, the heart was thought to be located in the heart, the organ which is Shinzo in Japanese. It's a remnant of this. Heart refers to both the concept and the organ. Today, if you were to ask where the heart is located, most likely the answer you'd get would be the brain. It's something even doctors can't clarify. Despite there is no scientific evidence, at least the existence of illness associated with it, because mental illnesses has been acknowledged. That field has gone far, to the extent the study of treatment methods is a very prominent field. Are there any treatment methods for someone who claims they have no heart? As long as it's not clear if a heart actually exists, there is no way to medically examine whether or not they don't have one. A difficult problem that's similar to the devil's proof. Only natural that Makoto is at a loss for an answer. At any rate, good luck. Tale of the Bamboo Cutter. Japan's oldest folk tale, agent author unknown. In it, Takatori no Okina took a baby out of a shining bamboo stalk and named her Princess Kaguya. Kaguya grew up into a beautiful woman. She had many suitors, she refused them all. Once it became clear she could never marry, she ended up returning to her birthplace on the capital of the moon. Character, just they existed inside the world of the story. It's thought they existed in the Nara era. I guess taken from details inside the story. Perhaps Haruka's own circumstances overlap with those of Princess Kaguya's. I can see the comparisons there. That's the case, and perhaps Makoto and Akihiko can be compared to the suitors who were given unreasonable demands by Princess Kaguya. Clone. Asexual reproduction. Exact same genetic information as its parent, original. Also referred to as a clone human who was born to this method. Clone trial in 3 years ago was the trigger for reversal of public opinions, causing the lift of the ban of fertilization of human clones. Really, there are laws in Japan that relate to the restriction of the use of cloning technology concerning humans. Internationally, the creation of human clones is prohibited. Perhaps if the world became a place where cloning technology was maximized with humans who had superior genes, it could lead to new discrimination based around those genes. Your genes suck. Get out. Muen Butoke. Or is it Muen Butoke? Japanese slang for dead person. Person who's passed away that has no relatives or immediate family to give them a memorial. Or unidentifiable body. Well, that's depressing. Even our names have ceased to be remembered. That's really depressing. Mu, which means nothing, N, which means relational bonds. Otoke, which means dead. Sea roaches. A series of crustacea, isopoda, that can be seen all over the world on beaches located in warm tropical regions. Sometimes bite humans, usually harmless. Generally loathed due to their small bodies, rough sensation, quick movements, and other such infamous traits. Those big round eyeballs don't seem very lovable. Look carefully. You won't be able to ignore the fact that they're compelling. Don't let them deceive you, Haruka! Those darn sea roaches. Whoa! Special theory used for both the special theory of relativity and the general theory of relativity proposed by Einstein. The famous special theory of relativity proposes that the closer something is to the speed of light, the slower the flow of time is for that object, and a substance cannot exceed the speed of light. Yes. Most people have probably been exposed to the sci-fi works that have been astronauts who have flown through space for dozens of years. Returned to home only to have barely aged. Yep. Agreed. Applying this theory of relativity to the universe, we can understand the continued reduction and expansion of it. However, though Einstein proposed this himself, he didn't believe in this solution. He proposed the cosmological constant. Disturb as a solution for his enduring belief that the universe was unchanging. In later years, it was proven, years later, that the universe really continues to expand. Einstein would later call the cosmological constant the biggest blunder in his life. Huh. When Makoto denies Yuga's time travel theory, he brings up a theory of relativity. When you abide by that, and go back in time, and time travel has to gain enough speed to exceed the speed of light. So, honestly, if you consider the time axis and symmetry, it's theoretically possible to have an axis that advances toward the past. Generally, worse than that, it's already legally impossible. It's not like their body would travel back in time. That would be kind of awkward since they were kind of gashed up and dead. It's only their memories, their soul's minds, are returned to first. Therefore, the phenomenon Makoto and others are going through might mean that the theory of relativity is completely pointless in this instance. Which I'd agree with. Infinite loop, repeatedly without end. When you consider to be a theoretical concept, even though all things must come to an end, if it's life, planet, life of man. Believe in that whole predestination thing, you can theorize that when a thing begins to exist, it already has its death predetermined inside of it. Moving on to time travel. To escape from the time axis that we are in and move to the past and or future. There are several different names for this, such as time trip, time rip, time slip. It would be a time slip. Propagated in a Time Machine by H.G. Wells. Truly the father of science fiction. Well, of modern science fiction, at least. Even if, for argument's sake, there's a clear answer on whether or not the time travel is possible, because the danger of time paradox is still present. Butterfly effect. Never seen the movie, so I don't know how good it is or not. Even trivial decisions, things or decisions have unexpected effects. You can go back to the Ice Age and kill a bug, and then your sister disappears. Yeah, that sucks when that happens. Flap a butterfly's wings in Brazil, set off a tornado in Texas. When the wind blows, the barrel makers prosper. You can use this to cheer up Makoto, who had fallen into despair. Yes. Even in visual novels, just making one wrong choice causes various events to occur. decisive split between a comedic and tragic conclusion. I don't know if that's true or not, but we sincerely hope that you don't make choices lightly.